All right, hello everyone. Welcome back. Okay, what do y'all think about what's going on with the new TV deal with the Pac-12? Well, at this point, it's all speculation. There isn't no TV deal, and um, let's look at it from this perspective, right? We have uh, we have at this point Turner, that's a no-go. ESPN, that's a no-go. Fox, that's a no-go. So all of the major cable networks and streaming providers, they also have streaming as well, has chosen to offer an amount. Now, mind you, they have plenty of content to distribute. Okay, so they're not lacking content. And from Pac-12 perspective, okay, two of your major markets are brands that carry a large market. What, number 3 in the country? If not number 1, just top 5 market has left, right? So what do you have left? Let's look at it from a number standpoint. Analytically speaking, you have Oregon, Washington State, Oregon State, Cal, Stanford, 4 corner schools. Did I leave anyone out? I believe that's 10. Okay? You have those 10 schools. And at this point, there's only 2, possibly 3 brands that has any value left. There's no value in Stanford as it relates to athletics. There's no value in Cal as it relates to athletics. There's no value in Oregon State as it relates to athletics. Colorado is building their athletics. Arizona has a semi-okay football, but they're good in basketball. Arizona State is still trying to find his footing. Utah, oh yeah, I left them out. Utah has come in recent years to be the top football program, along with Oregon. And aside from that, there's nothing else. Now, yes, it's on the West Coast Conference, on the West Coast. Yes, there is a population out there. The numbers are not that large. The drawn in numbers are not that large. So therefore, with the largest market leaving, you don't have much wiggle room. So with that being said, back to the business side, the TV networks, Apple, Amazon at this point are considered major companies, right, in technology. And Kleofkoff has come from a streaming world, so he's familiar with that market. Now, let's put it together. If Kleofkoff is familiar with the streaming market and he has brought the remaining members of the Pac-12 to the streaming market, then this clearly shows what his idea and plans are. Now, that would be good far as, innovation, changing, and things like that. But we're talking about converting. We have a converting aspect of taking a conference that is traditionally known to the market or people who are fans of these schools in the traditional sense through cable TV. So, with that being said, the transition doesn't fit, especially at this moment. That would be good to try with a group of 5 teams. Like, let's say maybe the AAC, or the Mountain West, or the Sun Belt, so on and so forth. You get my idea. So that would prove well to test. Okay, there we go. Test the transition, the streaming market, with one of those conferences and see how things transpire. Now, we're not doing this. We're doing this with a so-called Power 5 conference. So, with that being said, you have a question mark, right? An unknown. And that is the issue here. Okay, with these 10 members, people tend to not want to go into the unknown. They like to do what they already know and what they think is common or what's best. Most people don't like changes. That is a huge change that you're asking all of these presidents of these universities to do. Now, let me tell you what will happen, or what happens when you do this. One is you have a large market of viewers that is traditionally on cable networks find themselves saying it's not worth it. Just as someone has built up their abilities to like a program, a team, or become a fan of, they can easily switch that over. Okay? Because there's multiple teams that people like at one given time. It's not just one team. So while you may have some UCLA fans, you may have some Oregon fans, but I'm pretty sure they may like a couple of teams in the ACC, maybe the Big Ten, and even the Big 12. They'll just start supporting those schools, especially if it's easier. Now, what will happen if this transition occurs, right? This will automatically decrease the viewership of the Pac-12, and they will be, on paper, considered a non-power conference. If people cannot view and watch these programs and see the progress and all these things that transpires with this conference, they're going to forget about them. And that's what I mean. Out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. That means if they can't see them, they really don't care too much about them. And you can say that it would be an easy way for these programs to end up going into thin air because they're out of sight, out of mind. It's too complicated to go see them. Then you got to pay additional money. The major schools are gone. The matchups are not all that great. Plus, you have this, I can't see them, so I'm not really going to do all these things to go view what is left of them. So you're going to have a lot of ship jumping. Now, there's a strategy, I think, that's trying to be imposed on, okay, since the major programs do not want to cut us the check that we would like, then we're going to give it all to stream. And then we're going to talk to the stream partners, Apple, Amazon, and tell them a way that they can barter with the networks, right? Let's give it to them and let them barter with the networks. So they're telling the stream people that so they can get more money. So they're telling the stream people, hey, we'll give you all access, all rights to our games, 100% for $50 million, right? Just so on paper they can say, hey, we raised the bar, we got more than the Big 12. But in all actuality, what ends up happening is it doesn't increase the value of the Pac-12 or 10. What it does is what I mentioned earlier. It puts them somewhere where they can't be found, and if they needs to be found, then it will still end up being up to the Turners, the ESPNs, and the Foxes to decide if they want to bring viewership. Now, look at it like this. If ESPN and Fox have, or not Fox, but ESPN has already offered a number to them directly and what they're willing to pay for, what makes you think that they're going to go and turn around and give Apple or Amazon more money for the exact same thing? That makes no sense. ESPN is not going to do that. Or at least if they do that, then that wouldn't be good in that sense. I doubt that they would do that. So this leaves us to a point where it goes back to realignment. Either it's going to be all streaming for a large amount, or and face becoming a group of five conference, because that's what ends up happening. Because it takes recruiting, it takes fans, revenue, of course. People have to want to go to the school. People have to want to play. And if you don't have recruiting, you can't win. That means no playoff voting, no championship games. And that's what makes up the element of being a Power Five. The ability to receive the accolades through talent, through programs, through facilities, so on and so forth. You get my drift. So, with that being said, I don't believe that this will work, or the strategy will work, or whatever you want to call it will work, to give all of the rights to Apple or Amazon or both for streaming, and then try to sell them back to ESPN for a higher price. I don't know. And we can talk about the side of Apple or Amazon wanting to get into this more into sports as a whole, but that's a whole nother video for another time. But at this point, everyone is waiting to see what the presidents of the Pac-12 are going to do. And we're waiting to see. Really, it's at this point, it's up to the presidents of the Pac-12. That's what holds this together. The presidents do, not Kliavkoff, because if it was up to the presidents, they'll just go to the conference that is inviting them. That makes sense, or they would stay. Period. So this all lies in the hands of the presidents, regardless of what Kliavkoff does. So, once again, Global News Sports. We'll keep you posted. We're watching this Pac-12 thing closely. Till next time, y'all have a good day. Bye.